down to business. I got my wild cherry Diet Pepsi, and I got my blackjack gum here, and I got that feeling. Yeah, that familiar feeling that something rank is going down out there.
I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you, I make you laugh, I'm here to fucking amuse you. How the fuck am I funny? What the fuck is so funny about me? Tell me. Tell me what's fun.
Oh, me, sir, goddammit! Brothers don't shake hands. Brothers gotta hug.
Come out to the coast, we get together, have a few laughs.
Fool you!
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
You ever seen a grown man naked?
I'm so racist! Anybody move, I'll blow your fucking head off. And the medic gets out and says, oh my God.
I'm your huckleberry.
My advice to you is to start drinking heavily.
Put that coffee down.
Pauline, this calls for the old Billy Baroo.
That's a huge bitch.
The royal penis is clean, Your Highness.
Hey, where are the white women at?
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. It's over, Johnny. It's over!
It ain't over. The year has just started. Not even close to over. God damn it. 2017. And you got me, Boxman. You got Anthony over there. And you got THT Movie Review. What's going on, Anthony?
What's going on, man?
Not much, man. Just trying to get this shit going. Stay away. It is fucking freezing here. I don't know about where you're at, but
we're about to get hit.
Let's see. The temperature is about 17 degrees here. And then Tuesday it's gonna be 70.
Schizophrenic weather.
Why are dude? That's the best way to describe Texas weather. It is schizophrenic. Literally, you can go from snow to 60, 70 degrees the next day. Ridiculous. No wonder everyone here is fucking sick half the year. But
on to brighter news. We got renewed. Our second season.
That's right. We
Can
did.
you believe it?
I know we took a couple of weeks off there. I was busy. I got kids and stuff. You know how that goes. So you know.
Telling me the kids are more important than talking about random ass movies?
Yeah, they are. At least my kids are. I'm not speaking for everybody out there, but my kids, yes. Yeah. We had good times on New Year's. I don't know what you said. You just kind of partied down a little bit.
Yeah, it was like low key. Just hang out with the people you care about the most, not random strangers.
Yeah, we had I was telling you off air last week. I kind of had an old man New Year's. I watched the ball drop on the East Coast, and I was done for the night. So at 11 o'clock in Texas, I was asleep. New Year's in Texas sucks.
It does? No party spots? No gang banging?
It's not that. Well, maybe. I don't know. I'm kind of old for that. But it's the... New Year's isn't... Everyone already celebrates by the time you celebrate in Texas. You know? Because we're an hour behind. Really, let's face it. New Year's, once New York has it, it's pretty much New Year's.
Yeah, actually, my uncle was, he was in Vegas over the holiday.
Oh.
And obviously Vegas is 3 hours ahead of us. We're actually 3 hours ahead of Vegas, so we're getting text, "Hey, Happy New Year," and it's only 9 o'clock here.
Yeah, it's only 9 o'clock. Fuck you, man. See, it just sucks. It's
I mean, it's obviously a nice sentiment to hear from your folks, but it was like still kind of early here.
Yeah, both my parents are in Florida. They're texting, "Happy New Year." Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it. I'm going to bed. I saw the ball drop. I'm done. But then I couldn't sleep once I went to bed, So, I don't know, but I watched a ton of,
PD Blue?
Well, I watched a bunch of, no, I didn't actually. I watched a bunch of, I watched a little bit of NYPD Blue on Christmas. They had it on that channel. But I watched, I forgot, some station I was watching, I posted it on Facebook. They had a Ferris Bueller's, they were showing Ferris Bueller's Day Off and a few
I remember
other
that post. I think it was VH1.
VH1 was doing it. And the next day, they were showing, like, Goodfellas and a few other badass movies. So I watched a bunch of movies when I was there, and I don't have DVR there, so it's like actually watching commercials and shit. It sucks.
Oh,
It sucks.
It's edited to shit, especially Goodfellas.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, edited to hell. But still a movie worth watching. Even edited, it was still worth watching.
Speaking of weird edits, remember, it's still around, but remember A&E, Biography Channel?
Mm-hmm.
They went through a period, I don't even know, because I haven't watched that channel in years, but they went through a period where they aired The Sopranos. And, oh my God, it was brutal to watch. It was fucking brutal.
I remember that when and everyone was like, how are they going to do that? Well, it wasn't fun. It's like watching Scarface edited.
Yeah, certain shows, like I said, let's be honest, like certain shows don't work on regular over-the-air television. They just don't.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, like Scarface is probably one of the better examples that they tried to do on network TV, and they did it for a few years, but never really went past a couple of years, I don't think. But I don't know. I guess we should get into this movie. What do you think, man? Let's get into this one right here. This movie that we decided to review this week for our first week back in 2017, Central Intelligence, starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Kevin Hart.
Yes, an updated version of Trading Places, if you will.
Sort of. Yeah. This is really, I know a lot of people give Kevin Hart shit. I personally I like him. I think he's, look, I take him for what he is. He's a comedian that got really lucky and is doing a ton of acting gigs. Hollywood wants him right now, and he's taking his shot. You can't blame a guy for that.
Yeah, he's banking, like I said, he's looking at it like, hey, this shit not going to last forever, so I'm going to bank on it while I can.
Yeah, and you know what? Let him do it. None of us would say no to any of the shit he's doing right now. Let's face it. If any one of us had the chance to do what he's doing, the guy is getting rich. If the bottom falls out today, he's probably got enough money to fucking live on.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah, that's the goal. I think that's his whole mission statement. Get his name on as much shit as possible, because royalties, residuals, they're gonna be playing his shit forever and a day.
And like I said, I don't think he's out there begging Hollywood to put him in these movies. I really think they're calling him and being like, dude, you're hot right now. Do this. Him and The Rock have a bunch of movies coming out this year. I think the new not Jurassic. Is it the new Jurassic with him in it? Him and Kevin Hart? Jumanji. Thank you. Him and Kevin Hart. And I think they have another one coming out after that. But I enjoyed this little movie. It was a nice little, let's kill an hour and a half. And it was funny. I laughed through most of the movie. The Rock, when you first see The Rock, it's kind of like he's playing John Cena.
You mean like goofy, like a?
He's all goofy and smiley and bro, and he's got on jorts.
I mean, honestly, obviously the Rock's moved on to greener pastures with the whole Hollywood thing.
Oh yeah,
but there were a lot of subtle homages to the wrestling business.
there was a lot of subtle references to that. There was a lot of 80s and 90s movie references in here. You kind of had to watch, but obviously he was a little obsessed with 16 Candles.
Yeah, and his fanny pack.
And the fanny pack, which I think...
I was so disappointed that Rock didn't pull out a pair of Zubaz. That would have no self-respecting man that came up when he came up can wear a fanny pack without the Zubaz.
Look at that.
As Box shows me his Zubaz.
I'm wearing them.
That's the only thing that could have made this movie better for me. The fucking Zubaz.
Yeah, I got like 5 pairs of them, dude. Yeah, I've got mine on, but yeah, the fanny pack was definitely a '90s rock wrestling reference. Most definitely. Weebs is throwing out some things here. Budget for this movie was $50 million. Box office ended up being 217. I would call this movie a success. Pretty much anything The Rock touches right now, bank on it.
Oh yeah.
Like if you could buy stock in movies, if The Rock's name was announced, I would do it.
Yeah, The Rock. Let's be honest. He's basically taken over the Fast and Furious franchise.
He basically has.
Paul Walker. Rest in peace.
Mm-hmm.
Vin Diesel. Obviously, was Vin Diesel's. It was a vehicle to get him over.
Right.
But ever since The Rock joined the team, it's like people associate The Rock with those flicks, and he was only in 3 of them so far.
Yeah, this will be his 4th, I think. 3rd. 1, 2, 3. He started off in the 4th? Technically the 4th one. Yeah. So this will be the 4th one he's in.
Yeah. So, wow. But it's his franchise now.
Oh, good for him, man. I mean, I say good for him, but this movie, like I said, it stars, Dwayne Johnson and Kevin Hart. Jason Bateman makes a little appearance in it. Most of the other people, I'm not really 100% sure who they are. But, of course, 2017, I'm keeping with it. There are 2, not 1, but 2 NYPD Blue references for this movie. One of them is Aaron Paul, who played the partner, Phil, in Central Intelligence. I believe that was a partner's name. Phil, yeah. He was in one episode of NYPD Blue. Also, the principal played a doctor in NYPD Blue. And if I'm not mistaken, this episode, let me check something, has the kid from... Let me see if this is the right episode I've got here. They used the kid from Mr. Mom, the young kid. Let me see. I'm pretty sure this is the one he's in. Give me a second here. I'll look it up while I'm talking here. But that was him. Yep. There he is. Where's the name there? Hold on. Oh, man. I can't read very fast right now. But anyway, yeah, that was him. And so, yeah, both of them did. There were 2 NYPD Blue references from this movie. So just to keep it going, there you go.
Yeah, that gimmick will never die.
Yeah, and
I don't want it to die. Keep it going.
And you know what? Weebs brings up another good point. The Rock also took over the G.I. Joe franchise. So... And he did. He definitely took over the G.I. Joe franchise. Dude, The Rock, like I said, man, anything he's in right now, bank it. It's going to make money. And Kevin Hart right now is the same way.
And I actually like the twist they put on it. Because like I said, it's Trading Places-esque in the sense that they played the roles that you would... They basically play opposite of type. What you would expect them to play in this movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they did. But I mean, I really like a lot of the references in this movie. You got a couple Roadhouse references. I What else did you get? You got you got a good amount of. Let me see. Roadhouse. I said 16 Candles already. They talked about a bunch of music, and it was really just a fun. Look, I'm going to kill an hour and a half movie, and you're not going to fucking regret it later. You know?
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know, but yeah, I definitely enjoyed the shit out of this movie. I wasn't sure if I was going to, and it was a little, it was kind of weird, but, you know, I wasn't sure of the premise of it, but this is my kind of movie. It really is. Yeah. This really is my kind of fucking movie. It's got action. I like shit blowing up. It never bothers me, you know, all Michael Bay and all that. I don't mind any of those movies at all. So, but this one was very funny. Him and Kevin Hart have great chemistry together, obviously. And it's just a fun movie. But I don't know, man. I mean, what did you totally think?
Oh, definitely. I enjoyed the hell out of it. Now, I thought they were pretty much equals in the movies. I enjoyed both guys equally. Mm-hmm. But even before I saw the movie, at least I was reading like little reports. Oh, the Rock carried Kevin Hart in this movie, or if it wasn't The Rock made the movie. What do you think about that little opinion of some folk?
No, I don't think so.
I thought it was equal, my opinion.
Yeah, the funniest thing is when Kevin Hart first walks in to meet The Rock, how little he looks in front of... I mean, because The Rock is... Not only is The Rock, 6'3", 6'4", but he's so wide that Kevin Hart looks like a mini figurine compared to The Rock in the first couple scenes. But there were some cool little things. Number one, obviously the movie is called Central Intelligence. The name of the high school was Central High School. You get it?
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, that was one little thing. But basically, you know, the movie starts off with a hilarious scene with The Rock, a young, fat Dwayne Johnson dancing in the locker room naked, and yes. I guess they CGI'd all that is what I read a few times, which wholly amazing what they did with this, but just a hilarious scene. To begin with, he's dancing naked in the shower. A bunch of bullies come up and throw him into the gym naked.
As Kevin Hart was giving his I guess his final speech as a senior at the school, voted most likely to succeed. So, because let's be honest, like Kevin Hart was portrayed as the cool guy in high school, big man on campus.
Yeah, he was the biggest guy on campus. He was like the most known. I mean, the principal even said, if I had a son, I wish he were mine."
Yep, and Kevin Hart, I swear, I laughed far harder at this scene than I should have when he said, "If my mama was in the black dudes." I mean, if she was in the white dudes.
If she was in the white
it was hilarious. Oh, as soon as he said that, I lost my shit.
And the backflip is just amazing because he's like 8 feet off the ground when he does it.
Yeah.
So it's just, you know, silliness in the movie, which I like the silliness, but I really, you know, Kevin Hart, when The Rock gets thrown out there, the only person not laughing and that it actually tries to help him is Kevin Hart. He gives him his Letterman jacket. Oh, there was the flip. So gives him his Letterman jacket to put around him. You see The Rock look at him and say thank you, you know, very quietly. But this was 1996, man. This was
rough.
This was literally, I mean, this was the year after I graduated, basically. So, man, I remember most of this year, and it was a pretty good reference of that year.
Yeah. So you and your buddies basically threw some random tool into the school auditorium for everybody to laugh at.
I was never that dude. I was more I was never the bully. Never. No, I was more being bullied. I was always scrawny and skinny. Actually, in high school, I just drank with everybody, so everything was cool. You know, just be the best way to not get your ass kicked when you're a scrawny little dude is become the party dude with everybody.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. As you can see, I kind of carried on.
Yeah, keep it alive.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Little Heineken to help me out. But yeah, they throw the rock out there. The whole school's laughing at him, which obviously is setting up the premise for what he's become. You know, Kevin Hart was the kind of guy, you know, basically we were just saying he was like the big man on campus. Now he's just basically, fast forward 20 years, he's an accountant in a dead-end job where people he trains are getting, promoted ahead of him. And he works with one of the biggest douchebags I've ever met. I would have punched this guy in 30 seconds if I worked with him. Which is why I work from my house and for myself. Probably a reason I'm not in the work world, people.
And I'll say this, right out just from that opening scene we just broke down with basically establishing his relationship with The Rock in the movie. This is the first movie I've seen in a long time where you actually saw some range from Kevin Hart, because he really played like a different type of character in this movie. It wasn't like a typical Kevin Hart role.
I kind of thought it was. Usual smart-ass Kevin Hart. I kind of thought it was.
I mean, it was still Kevin Hart, but I just felt like he showed like a little versatility acting-wise in this movie with certain things.
Maybe a little. But, I mean, he still played the scaredy cat, little Kevin Hart. And every time he was handed a gun, he couldn't, kept handing it back, like couldn't touch it. And I don't know. Usual Kevin Hart, I thought, most of the movie was the usual Kevin Hart. But like I said, I don't mind Kevin Hart. Let him do what he's doing. I don't care if he's in 100 fucking movies a year. He's getting paid well. I hope he hears that and shares it with me. You hear that, Kevin?
Yeah.
Share.
Fuck the haters, I guess. Fuck them.
Yeah. Listen, how can you hate a guy for going out there and making money? How can you hate someone for that? I don't get it.
As long as you're not hurt nobody, I'm just like, I look at it like this. I could understand why people might feel like, okay, look, he kind of has a tendency to play the same roles over and over, and there's really no versatility. I think that's where a lot of the hatred comes from.
Oh.
But look, the man is successful. I can't hate on the man for making money.
Then I say this, let's blame Hollywood for making all these roles for him. He's not writing these movies, everyone. Hope everyone realizes that. He's not writing these silly movies he's in. These roles are being written for him.
Yeah.
So, dare I say, don't hate the player. Hate the game, goddammit, because that's it. I mean, he's not writing the movies. They're wanting him. So, don't hate a guy. Be jealous is fine, but don't hate a guy for going out there and making money.
Yeah, I look at it like this. Once you kind of establish yourself in Hollywood in a certain type of role, that's what they want from you. Put it to you like this. How many fucking serious roles have you ever seen Will Ferrell in?
Not many.
I think that the closest he came to like a serious role was probably that Stranger Than Fiction movie, which was actually pretty good.
Yeah, but usually it's the same Will Ferrell we get in every movie. Look, there's a ton of actors who, I mean, I know you back in the day, they were like, don't typecast yourself, don't do that. Y'all are all going to be surprised when Kevin Hart plays some psychotic killer and he fucking nails it. Because it probably will happen.
Yeah. And I'm going to throw another one at you. Rest in peace, Robin Williams.
Absolutely.
I love all of his fucking movies, but that 1 hour photo, man.
Insomnia.
Did you see that flick?
Insomnia. Another one where he played a great... Robin Williams was a great, psycho in the movies. And I've said it before. I think Jim Carrey would be fucking amazing as a psychotic killer, like a real, true psycho killer in a movie.
Oh no, yeah, not like a ha Cable Guy type of psycho.
Yeah, not like Cable Guy. I think he would be a real psycho kind of guy. Just he's got the look, and I'm sure he could do it. And I'm telling you, I bet Kevin Hart's the kind of guy that could fucking do it too. You'll be surprised. He'll probably eventually do it one day.
Yeah, he will. He's a young guy. I could definitely see him doing that one day.
Yeah, the Rock in this movie was a little annoying. He gets a hold of he gets a hold of Kevin Hart through Facebook. This is a kind of a Facebook
Bob
movie.
Stone
As Bob Stone, and you know, it was just a weird thing. And you know, as soon as he hits decline, boom, the message pops up, and you know, finally realizes who it is, and they go to meet, and you know, go get some beers, dude, bro. This guy reminded me of Tommy half the time with all the fucking bros he said. But you know, he did that. He meets up, and obviously Kevin Hart is shocked to see what Robbie, what was his name in the movie? Windick?
Something like that.
I don't know. Windick, something like that. But shocked to see what he's become.
He pulled up here real quick.
Mm-hmm.
His name was Robbie Weirdick.
Weirdick. That's right.
I guess that's how they pronounced it.
They pronounced it Weird Dick. Like, dude, you got a weird dick.
You get it? But yeah, man, I don't know. Did you ever come across any people like that in high school that everybody else kind of clowned, but you kind of like befriended, and not like they was your best friend, but you kind of like just like accepted them for what they were, and then like down the line at the reunion or whatever, they kind of like, hey, oh, I remember you. You were like the only one that was nice to me. You didn't throw me in a locker. You didn't trip me. Did you ever have anybody like that?
I didn't, but you know, I was always, like I said, I was always that guy that just kind of got along with everybody, dude. Mostly in high school, I just started getting along with everybody. But before that, it wasn't easy. But no, I just got along with everyone in high school, man. I drank a lot.
It's just like what it is. Go along, not go along, get along, but you know, you just like, it's fucking high school, man.
Well, you know, there was certain psychedelic drugs involved most of the time. You know, didn't want to get into a fight while you were tripping on mushrooms in school.
Yeah.
That would be bad.
Yeah. I put it to you like this: weed makes everybody your friend. The end.
Very true.
Like pretty much, like yeah, like if you
just break out
everybody
a joint.
take a little puff pass. It's just like everybody's cool. Everybody gets along. No stress.
You break out a blunt at a party, you're the fucking light of the night, dude. That's
I don't care what kind of black, white, whatever. You break out the weed, you everybody's best friend at that point.
At that point, everybody's green, bro. It don't matter anymore. Everybody's green. Everybody's just green. So, yeah, we were talking about this earlier. Yeah, I mean, we were talking about The Rock earlier. Forbes named The Rock top grossing actor of 2013. And, you know, this year he was the highest grossing actor, like, again. So.
Yeah. Also, wasn't he voted like the sexiest man alive by People?
Yep, he was. And, oh, here's one I didn't know. On May 21st, 2015, Johnson set a Guinness World Record for most selfies in 3 minutes, taking 105 selfies with fans during the premiere of San Andreas in London.
Yeah.
You know,
and this is obviously not the wrestling show, but this is why The Rock has a free pass to show up whenever the fuck he wants. Anybody that ever questions why The Rock shows up.
You know, doesn't matter. I mean, we're talking about The Rock. The Rock comes from the wrestling business. We can tie it in. No, doesn't matter. Obviously, the wrestling business has had a lot to do with what with his success. But the kind of person he is, I really think, has more to do with it than the wrestling business. The Rock he just when he meets people, he just looks like the kind of guy you want to meet. He does. He's not the dickhead that's going to shove you away, not, do this. He's a people person. And obviously the wrestling business helps with that because you're around people all the time. So, but he just doesn't seem like all the other actors out there. You know what I mean? And I think that
he seems like accessible. Like if you were to, long shot, but if you were to bump into him in the airport, unless you were being a complete asshole about it,
yeah,
I can see him like stop and shake your hand, take a quick picture, maybe give you an autograph. Hey, nice to meet you. Maybe even talk to you for a minute or two, just to say, hey, give you that little connection.
Yeah, he just seems like a genuine good dude. And he's not taking all this for granted. He's like, oh my God, he seems like he realizes he's lucky for what he has.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, basically, me and my fiance were talking about that. He's just not the regular actor. He's a bro,
Case in point, what was I listening to? I might have been listening to an episode of Wrestling Soup. Shout out to our friends over there, Missionary Thomas and Joe Numbers. Apparently, Joe was telling a story about whoever I don't know if it's not his wife, but the girl he's with now. Mm-hmm. Apparently, she's like from like the area, like Boston, like basically from the area Joe's from. And like it's not uncommon to see Rock in that. Obviously if he's with the woman, It's not uncommon to see him in that town, like grocery shopping and just basically like being a regular person. I was like, what? And I'm like, yeah. It wouldn't be uncommon to see him like just walking around town like a normal dude.
He just seems like a dude. Yeah, he's giant, and yeah, you don't see a lot of guys his size walking around, but I don't know, man. But he's just like, take the bar scene. He takes off his big jacket, and he's got on a unicorn shirt. A rainbow unicorn shirt. And he's like, I'm all about the corn, man. I'm all about the corn. The most deadliest animal in the world, right? Okay.
I swear that had to be a shout out to New Day. I'm sorry.
I think it might have been
a nice little shout out to them guys.
I think it might have been, man. But I mean, but he's like a little girl. He's like, oh my God, shots.
No.
Shots.
And I don't know, maybe it's like a mental thing, but I guess it's like if you were a fat kid and then you all of a sudden turn into like a sex symbol, you're still mentally like that fat kid. Because there was like a lot of deepness to this movie. Like whenever he would see his reflection early on, he would still see that fat kid. So like the bar scene you brought up, the one chick that was on him.
Yeah.
And it's almost like he didn't even know how to react to it. Mm-hmm. She was clearly throwing herself at him. And it's just like, he's like, oh, gee golly.
Exactly, yeah. Just still doesn't know what to do. But yeah, and you're right. There was some deep things in this movie where he looks in the window at one point in a scene with Jason Bateman.
Oh, what a dick he was!
Bateman was the biggest douche in this movie.
I found myself legitimately wanting to slap the shit out of him at a few points.
I really did too, and I'm like, man, this is going to be one of those good movies where everything works out. And then I'm like, oh, Bateman's a douche. Jason Bateman played the kid Trevor. Trevor was the one who actually got everyone to throw the Rock, or, whatever you want to call him, out in the gym naked. So this is like the ultimate bully for him. And, Kevin Hart gets Jason Bateman involved in something, that they're doing. So, but, that was a deep scene where, I found Jesus last year, and he apologized, and then he's like, psych. All right.
Yeah, and then it was just like, and then Kevin, this movie is not real. It's not like a lot to it, but the part that you're referencing, Kevin, like, come on, man, do what you did to him in the bar. Because we should kind of like tie it into the bar scene. Rock just beat the fuck out of it was like 3 or 4 guys.
It was 4 guys. He beat the hell. And of course, that chick is sitting there, literally getting wet in her pants. She probably really was. That probably wasn't a lying scene.
Yeah.
But there's the Rock in his.
Hope he's Christian.
Yep. Yeah. There's the Rock in his fanny pack, beating the hell out of 4 guys in that bar, and obviously Kevin Hart is like, "Holy shit! What did you just do? What? You're a badass." Still hasn't figured out that, obviously Kevin Hart hasn't even asked The Rock what he does for a living, but obviously the name of the movie gives it away, what he does. But they hop on a motorcycle, and they kind of roam down memory lane when they hop on and go to the high school. And this is another kind of meaning part of the movie where they're looking at all the, Kevin Hart is looking at all the things that he did in high school, Rock's pointing everything out, and Kevin Hart's just like, man, I'm stuck in a dead-end job with, and damn, I'm miserable. None of this stuff mattered.
Yeah, because I remember there was a scene, to tie into what I was saying about this movie being pretty deep. At one point, Kevin Hart was having a lunch date with his wife, and she was like all hype, and he was kind of down on himself about the fact that the guy he trained got a promotion ahead of him.
Yeah,
and like he basically said, "Look, the difference between me and you is you love what you do. I'm just good at what I do. There's a difference." And I was like, when he said that, man, I was actually like, man, that was some deep shit.
Look, I mean, there were some good moments in this movie. There really were. But, another part when they're in the school is when they stand by the locker room and The Rock is having some flashbacks to that moment. Because there was a point where I'm like, maybe The Rock isn't really that kid, but then they did the flashback, and I'm like, all right, well, that's not what they're going for here. But, it's definitely, you can see that it still sits with him, and, The Rock still has some issues with what happened. And he even says, well, what I did is I rolled it into a ball, and I shoved it way down, and I just ignored it.
And then it's like, once again, going back to that scene in the beginning where Kevin Hart was the only guy that like wasn't laughing at him, reached out to him. He basically said, man, that's not healthy. Like, if you ever need to talk, I'm here. So in other words, he was still established that he was that guy. They established throughout that movie that he was still, at his core, that good guy that was going to look out for him no matter what.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Definitely did. Then, let's see. Finally, they get out of the school. The Rock takes him home. The Rock asks him to sleep there. But he also asks him for a favor. This is where he starts getting... But the other best part of this scene is The Rock coming out in the very small pajamas.
Yeah.
And not only doing that, but he comes out and puts on his fanny pack to go to sleep.
Yes. The pajama scene, it's probably had nothing to do with it. But in my heart, I want to believe that scene was created with Chris Farley in mind. Fat guy and the little guy. I mean, that I don't give a fuck what nobody say. That is one of the greatest scenes ever captured on film.
Yeah, you should be thinking of that part when you see this, because I sure as hell did.
I'm sorry. I miss that dude, man. I really do.
Yeah, and that's definitely the first thing I thought when I saw that scene was fat guy and a little coat. But this was the weirdest part. Kevin Hart walks down, and it looks like The Rock has been there for a month. He's got pizza, Chinese food. The TV is on 16 candles, and on TBS, and it's just all over. It's like, what the fuck? This guy's been here for a month or something. And this is where Kevin Hart starts figuring out what's going on a little bit, when the CIA actually comes to his door. So this is where the things start coming together. The title starts becoming an actual thing. Yeah. And he walks back to show him, oh, yeah, I know right where he's, right in my back room. Not only is he gone, but the back room is completely clean.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, pretty cool little scene. I like it. This, I love cop movies. I obviously love action movies, and I like spy movies, obviously. This is my kind of movie. You throw in some comedy, and I'm good to go.
Oh, yeah, I have no complaints about this movie at all.
No, none at all. No, I really, really, actually, like I had said, I really enjoyed the movie, which I wasn't sure I was going to. But I do like Kevin Hart. The Rock is always good in mostly everything he does. So, what the hell? Gave it a shot. But, this is where he starts finding out about what's going on with The Rock, realizing he is in the CIA. But obviously the story she tells Kevin Hart, who we find out later is his boss, is bullshit. This is all a game. It's all a plan. And they really need Kevin Hart is what they do. They need him.
Yes.
Yes. So he's actually a whole part of this plan and doesn't know it. But The Rock is obvious. You know what this movie really reminded me of? The movie with Eddie Murphy and Owen Hart.
You mean Owen Wilson?
Owen Wilson. Yeah, sorry. God damn it.
I'm about to say.
I'm staring.
I'm about to say if Owen Hart was in the movie.
I'm staring at
Eddie Murphy. Like,
I'm staring at Kevin Hart, and the two names just popped together. I guess got wrestling on the
I'm
mind.
only messing with you.
Which was what was that?
I Spy.
I Spy. This was pretty much the same kind of movie as I Spy. You got the big outs, but the opposite, because in I Spy, the little guy was sort of quiet, and the bigger guy, the Eddie Murphy character, was very outspoken and loud. It was a little kind of the opposite of I Spy, but this movie did remind me of I Spy a little bit.
I could get that comparison.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which I do like that movie too. That's a good movie. But
that's a long movie, but actually I haven't seen it in a while. But that is to me, like, a lot of people say, well, Eddie Murphy fell off after Nutty Professor, but he had some gems. If you really look in the early 2000s, they weren't like commercial hits necessarily, but he had some quality gems in like the early 2000s. At least in my opinion, I like the.
You know what? For a guy who everyone thought wasn't gonna be working because of the little transvestite thing that happened with him, he got Disney to pick him up.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's the talent never leaves. It's still Eddie Murphy, Eddie fucking Murphy.
Exactly, and no matter, I don't give a shit what the hell happened in that thing. Eddie Murphy is still Eddie Murphy. If Eddie Murphy goes back to doing comedy, I will watch. I will definitely fucking watch. I know he's got a couple movies coming out this year. He had that serious movie come out at the end of last year, which I didn't go see. But there's another comedian who does some serious roles here and there. Yeah. We forgot to mention Eddie Murphy. Some really funny parts in this movie, though, are when they're in the action scenes. The Rock is like, what he'll do is he'll come up with a plan, and he'll be like, I got a plan. It may get us both killed, but if it works out, it's going to be a badass story. All right? Cool. He doesn't even ask. He just starts with the plan. But, actually, I can get to that part in a minute here. Hold on. I'm at that part right now where they're in the office, trying to get out of the office because of all that shit going down. Let me see here. Let me find that one scene where they're running. Oh, wait, I'm right there. Yeah, oh, almost. There we go.
Especially in the middle of this standoff. I shouldn't be here. So I feel like me being in the middle of this throws me in it. So let me exclude myself.
Hey, stay there! Don't move!
Okay, all right, I'll stay in.
I got a plan. Might get us both killed, but if it works, it'll be a totally boss story. Cool?
No, it's not cool.
Cool.
No, I said it's not cool. I said it's not cool.
Time's up.
And then immediately the plan goes into play. But yeah, I mean, it's just The Rock really was a little annoying in this movie, but very funny, very effective, and the fanny pack comes into play more than once.
Oh yes, it's hilarious. I'm sorry, that was fucking gold.
I know that was a '90s wrestling reference. It had to be.
You know whose favorite scene that was? I guarantee you, Michael Hayes saw that scene and looked like, yeah,
Oh, Michael
The
Hayes.
fanny pack will never die. I guarantee you. As soon as this fanny pack came on the scene, how many 80s wrestlers stood up and said, yeah, finally a movie that speaks to us.
Yeah, exactly. And Weaves is bringing up something else in the chat. Did you ever see the lip sync battle he did?
No.
Have you ever watched Lip Sync Battle?
No.
All right,
it seemed like it would be my type of show.
It probably is. It's on Spike, I believe. It's LL Cool J is the host. Chrissy Teigen is there with him. So she's wearing nothing half the time. Dwayne Johnson was on the first episode of that show, season 1, episode 1. He went against Jimmy Fallon. So it was pretty funny, man. It was really funny. The Rock did staying alive. So,
oh shit! He's gonna make me look it up.
Go back and check it out. It was really good. And Kevin Hart was actually on the season 2. He went against Olivia Munn. But yeah, we brought that up, and I do remember the Rock was really good on the lip sync battle show. But that was kind of Jimmy Fallon's idea, so they let him do the first show. But geez, you want to talk about some awards though? We've been talking about The Rock and just everything, and from we put up a little awards and honors. 1991, we start off with NCAA championship, member of the Miami Hurricanes. 2001, Teen Choice Awards, Choice Movie Villain. 2012, CinemaCon Action Star of the Year. 2013, Kids Choice Awards, Favorite Male Butt Kicker. 2016, we are People's Choice Award for the favorite premium cable TV actor. 2016, he got the Mr. Olympia Icon Award. 2016, we already brought up the People Magazine Sexiest Man, and this year it looks like he'll be getting a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. So, nice. The man is blowing up, man. You can't deny him. You just can't.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, it's reflective. It reflects positively on wrestling that, yes, there are good, decent people that come out of this business.
Yeah. 1 in 100. So I don't know.
I mean, yeah, it ain't gonna be another Rock. I mean, John Cena. I mean, look, he might get some roles. He might be a nice quality action star in another lifetime.
Yeah,
but he's not going to be the Rock. No. But to be fair, not too many people are. Rock is like a once in a lifetime type anomaly.
Absolutely, absolutely, he is. We were talking about it on the Wednesday show. John Cena may come close to what The Rock is, but no one's gonna do the things he's done. No one.
And honestly, what I think it boils down to is, talent, charisma, timing is everything in life. And also just because I honestly think The Rock succeeded, in my opinion, based off the fact that he put the work and he became a fucking better. He wasn't just a wrestler playing actor. Mm-hmm. In other words, he didn't just play an extension of The Rock that you see in wrestling. He actually went to acting classes and got fucking better. Because when he first started, The Rock he wasn't bad, but he was just like, eh. You just felt like he was playing like an extension of like The Rock you saw in WWE.
Exactly.
I mean, it's the same thing. Like, think about it. There's a reason why fucking people still fucking mock Hogan for Mr. Nanny and No Holds Barred. Look, we can, as wrestling fans, we like the cheesiness of it. But if you're fucking a regular casual moviegoer and you see that shit, you like a movie like No Holds Barred or Mr. Nanny are the exact antithesis of why you hate pro wrestling. Hokey, over the top. This is just Hulk Hogan playing Hulk Hogan only in a movie instead of a wrestling ring.
Yeah, absolutely. And, like I said, hopefully The Rock will get a ton more roles. He's already gotten some of the more serious action roles, which is usually a start to getting some really good roles. So, all we can do is, I hope he gets a ton of fucking good roles. I wouldn't mind. I mean, The Rock is just, he's great to see in movies. And especially being a wrestling fan, it's like, holy shit, kind of like we know where he came from thing.
Yeah.
So,
now, did you ever see him in that? What's that movie? He took a turn, and what was that movie? Gridiron Gang. That was actually an underrated flick.
that's a great movie, actually, and yeah, he played a pretty serious role in that movie.
Yeah, it was very subdued rock. It wasn't what you would expect. It was very subdued.
Yeah, and that was a true story. So, you know, because
And he did another true story movie. What was it? Was it with Mark Wahlberg?
Might have been Mark Wahlberg. I think so. I think he did one with him. Yeah, but let's see here. Basically, after all this, the rest of this movie boils down to they're all trying to find out what was the name of the person, the Black Shepherd or something.
Well, it might have been let me see, the Black Badger.
The Black Badger. Thank you. They're trying to find a villain, bad guy in the movie called the Black Badger. From about the last hour of the movie is pretty much. That's what they're doing. They're trying to find this Black Badger person so Kevin Hart and The Rock can clear their names. So that's pretty much most of the movie, what happens here. Trying to figure out because, like I said, the last hour of the movie is just them trying to figure out what's going on. They obviously threaten to, the CIA threatens to put Kevin Hart's wife in jail, so he actually ends up turning in The Rock. Again, turns out to be part of the plan. Another funny part, though, when before that part is Kevin Hart and his wife are having some troubles. They go see a therapist. And the therapist turns out to be The Rock.
It's tough being The Rock.
Yeah. Turned out to be The Rock, and he does this weird thing with Kevin where he's like, all right, we're going to role play. Kevin, you be you, or, you be you, and I'll be your wife. And it's hilarious. And if you watch the outtakes for this scene, it's even more funny because Kevin Hart keeps slapping The Rock back.
Oh, God.
Yeah, watch the outtakes. It's really a funny scene.
Oh,
but,
speaking of funny, how can we gloss over Kevin Hart's nickname in the movie? Calvin Golden Jet Joyner.
The Golden Jet.
The Golden Jet.
Yeah.
Do you remember the scene where we find out how he got the nickname Golden Jet?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yep.
man.
Yep. Yeah. Man, where is that? I've already passed it. I don't want to go back. This is like a real HD MKV version, and it's a little slow on my computer, I must admit. And then at one point, The Rock actually kisses Kevin Hart once, a little peck on the lips.
Oh.
And Kevin Hart flips out.
Yeah, it's just...
But, yeah, it turns out to be a really another funny scene. But the whole time, you got to realize what The Rock is in this movie. He's almost himself turned up. I swear to God, it's like The Rock and John Cena both turned up to 12.
Yeah.
Because he's
except The Rock's more likable.
Yeah, they're much more likable. He really is, though, like Cena, when he's corny, he's annoying. It's just very weird. How The Rock, I don't know if he was trying to channel Cena, but if he was, it worked well.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, like Rock, like when he goes the cornball route, for some reason it works better for some reason. Mm-hmm. That's how you know you cool, when you can pull off the cornball and like people can like, yeah, that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
But like it just worked for Rock. Mm-hmm. He can make anything cool, even when he's not trying to be cool. The guy's fucking cool. Yeah. You can't teach that.
No, yeah, exactly. He's just got The Rock has that it factor everyone talks about.
Yep.
That's it right there. Whatever The Rock has, that's it.
Whatever The Rock has, he needs to bottle it and make more money.
Oh my God, if he bottled and sold it, that wouldn't be good. They stole my mojo. Anyway, Jesus Christ, maybe he'll be the next Austin Powers. Who knows?
Now, Bobs, I don't want to set you off, but we were talking about this movie having like a lot of serious moments, and I had to think back to that. The beginning of the scene. The movie's based around basically The Rock being like picked on and bullied in high school, and I wanted to get your opinion on this. A couple months ago, you kind of went off on like the pussification of America and how we're raising our children basically to be pussies. Do you think that, like, not to say that it needs to go to that extreme because this is just a movie, but do you think that we kind of need to get back to those old school, like, you just handle bullying like the old fashioned way? And not like have to have a therapy session? Because obviously, if this would have happened today, the kid would be in therapy. Everybody be, giving him a pep talk. It's all right. And, the bullies will be shamed. And
and that might have been a little harsh. What I said.
That was
Well,
no, it wasn't harsh.
I mean, you weren't paraphrasing. You basically said what I said, and I did say we're raising a bunch of pussies. You know what the real word would be for what we're actually a lot of people are raising in this country? Victims. We're raising a generation of victims. Yeah. Everyone thinks they're a victim of this, a victim of that. I was bullied. This happened to me. I was a victim of this. Stop making everything. Stop labeling everything, number one. Stop raising a bunch of victims, because that's what we're doing. So, yeah, I do believe you. A bully fucking messes with you. I'm sorry. I teach my son self-defense. I teach him to hit back. If hit, last option is to throw a fist. But yeah, people need to learn. I mean, look, I understand now. You have to go to the principal, and you probably have to fill out a form, and they probably call your parents, and then you have to see the counselor, and then they bring in you and the bully, and you talk it out. Maybe there's a hug at the end, and then you leave, and then you walk out, and they still kick your ass.
Yeah, because I just, like I said, I hate to keep beating a dead horse, but we always talk about how certain shows from back in the day couldn't work in today's environment. And I'm like wondering, like, a scene like that, I'm surprised, like, a scene like that with The Rock getting bullied to that degree didn't get a lot of heat. Just because of, like, the world we live, people dissect every fucking thing they put on TV nowadays. Same reason we'll never see another All in the Family.
Luckily, some of these comedy movies are getting away with a little bit more nowadays, but, it's just the way it is. I don't know. It's ridiculous. I just really think we need to think about what we're doing. We are raising the most sensitive generation of children right now.
Yeah. Everything you got to watch what you say. Whatever. And like I said, not to say that you go around saying whatever the fuck you want, but just the fact that we're at a point now where you have to self-edit every fucking thing to the point where you mess yourself even worse because you're overthinking about what to say. All the fucking time.
To the point
so
where
it's almost like it's worse when you have to overthink before you actually open your mouth.
Well, you don't have to say anything anymore. You have to think about what you're posting. You have to think about what you're typing, what you're posting. And it shouldn't be that way. People should be able to speak their mind no matter how silly, goofy, batshit crazy it is. And people should just be like, "Oh well, move on. Move the fuck on, people." That's really how I feel. Move on.
2017. Move the fuck on. You should get that t-shirt. Pro Wrestling Tees.
That's the slogan for 2017. Move the fuck on. That's what people need to do, man. Stop fucking dwelling on everything. Stop labeling everything. Don't give everything. Everything now is a disease or a condition, gluten for everyone's fucking suddenly. It's 2016 and suddenly everyone's realizing gluten makes you fat. Gluten doesn't fucking make you fat. A bag of potato chips makes you fat. Jesus, fuck.
Jesus Christ. I don't know, man.
This angers me. I'm sorry, but it fucking angers me. I mean, I don't know. Put the fuck. Gee, oh, I'm fat because you're fat because you don't stop eating, you dumb son of a bitch. No, I'm depressed and I'm tired and my boss yells at. Welcome to the fucking world. It's called life.
Yeah, and yeah, you know, and like I said, Joe, we'll get back to the movie in a minute, but this is fun. You love it when we sidetrack. But it's like, if you coddle your kid, because I look at it like this. I learned very early on that nobody is going to love you like your family, specifically your mom. And I'm glad I had the mom that I did. Like, it was always tough, always took the tough love approach. Because guess what? When you get out into the real world, nobody's going to give a fuck about your feelings. So you have to learn how to develop a thick skin very, very quickly. Mm-hmm. And I honestly think, like you said, it's not even about, you know, fucking being rough on your kids. It's just a matter of teaching them, okay, look, Johnny, Jimmy, I love you because I'm your mom, I'm your dad, I'm grandmom, I'm whoever. But sometimes you're going to come across people that you don't like, and they don't like you for whatever reason. There don't have to be a reason. Mm-hmm. You just have people in the world that you don't gel with for whatever reason.
Yeah,
there's no reason to feel like a victim or get pissed off or you know, you go in the safe place because somebody said something negative to me. Fuck you.
But the problem now is everyone is a victim because everything has a label. Everything now has a name. Every you know, hyper kids now are ADHD. You know what hyper kids were when I was a kid? Batshit crazy. That's what we fucking called them.
Yep.
And you know what? They made it. I was a fucking hyper kid. Believe it or not. You know, before I found the, you know, the ganja. I was fucking hyper as hell. I had anxiety issues. I didn't know. I got through it. I never took medication. Not until I got in fucking, you know, later in life and started self-medicating. But, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another problem. You got fucking preschoolers damn near have anxiety, man. I'm like, what the fuck? Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm sorry, but if you're barely hitting puberty, you have no business on fucking medication.
Well,
what the fuck do you have to have social anxiety at 6-7 years old? Fuck out of here.
I mean, look, I'll be honest. My older one does have those issues, has since pretty much first grade. First grade, we did have he's very, very hyper. So yeah, my kid is on Adderall. I hated it. I went as long as I could without doing it, but what I realized is it was messing with his education. He was not paying attention, and I mean, you know, he's in second grade now, and this year he got tested for the gifted and talented classes. So, you know, I argued with the doctor for 5 months. I don't want him. I do not want my child on meds. I do not want my child on medicine. No, he's too young. He'll work through it. You know what, though? When I finally realized, holy shit, he can do the work if he, you know, because the doctor said, let me give you a sample of it, try it for 1 week, and see what happens. In that first week, he did amazing at school, and he started becoming interested more in school. So what was I going to do? I'm not going to, you know, make my kid, you know, repeat grades and shit because I'm not going to give him medication. So yeah. Look, yeah, do I like doing it? Hell no. But I also don't want my kid to be labeled as stupid or be in classes that he doesn't belong in simply taking one pill a day will turn him into, you know, the focused student he should be.
Yeah. See, I'm conflicted on it because, in a sense, and when the way you break it down like that, mm-hmm. It does make sense. But just like in theory, it just seems something. It just seems wrong to me to have to dope a kid up just because they, you know, because a lot of time it could be just a kid being a kid. Kids are hyper.
A lot of times it is, and you know, he we only give him his pills on weekdays. We don't give him on weekends. We let him be crazy and a kid on weekends. But, some of it is, and he, we've gotten his medicine to where he can still be himself, but he can focus. And that's all he needs to do. I don't care the crazy stuff, the screaming, yelling. But when he's in school, he needs to focus. And he wasn't doing that. Not only was he disrupting his own, education, but him being so disruptive was also disrupting other children's education. So they were threatening to put him in a different class. They kept putting him outside. So he was being singled out a lot. That'll fuck up a kid.
Never cool.
That'll fuck a kid up too. So, listen, everything changes once you're in that doctor's office with that child, listening to the doctor. Everything changes. Your whole demeanor on what you've thought your whole life will change because you got to look through your kid's eyes. Like I said, I don't want him singled out. I don't want him in classes that he shouldn't have been in. I'll admit I'm a kid that probably should have been medicated, but it just wasn't around back when I was that age. It just wasn't there, wasn't available. But it wasn't. And even B Megs in the chat room is saying medication is the first option. It wasn't with us. We tried everything else. Everything. It was my last option. And when I did it, my kids started really thriving in school. So I feel like I made the right option as a parent. But am I happy about it? No, I never will be. But, there's things that you say, my kid will never do this. My kid will never do that. But faced with the situation, everything changes.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, as a parent, you do what's best for your kid. Mm-hmm. And if you have to go the medication route, so be it. My whole thing is at least exhaust every other possible option first. Like B Mac saying that I'm with him. I just don't like the fact that the first option has to be medication.
Right.
The first sign of trouble, put him on, drug him up.
Well, and I'll tell another story. My sister in Florida, my oldest nephew, who's way past all this stuff now, but when he was 7 years old, they had him in a school, and the school told my sister he's very hyper, he's this, he's that. You have to medicate him, or we're going to have to throw him out of school.
Wow!
Now this was a pre-K.
Jesus
you
Christ.
pay.
I'm already disgusted.
You pay to go to pre-K most of the time. This was the school she was paying for, and that's what they told her. So she pulled them out right that day. She said, "Okay, can I never come back here again?" But and that is B Megs is 100% correct. The first thing teachers jump to is medication. It's the first thing. And we actually ended up going through 3 schools his first year because in kindergarten he wouldn't nap. Never took a nap all through kindergarten. And they hated it. So we had to keep switching schools because they were basically throwing him out. If he can't nap, he has to go. But all through that whole napping phase, I never medicated him. I never did the medicine until he was halfway through first grade, and I realized I was stunting his education. It was me, not listening to the doctor. So I went in, I said, you know my feelings, but I'm going to shut the fuck up, and I'm going to listen to what you have to say, and we'll go from there. So I listened. He was right. I said, let's try it. And, we've had a few snags here where he gets used to it. We have to adjust it here, adjust it there. But it's a week here, a week there. He's been excellent in school so far, doing great on tests, getting his work done. So, all in all, it feels good that I made the correct decision. But
yeah, very good. Yeah, and like I said, you exhausted every opportunity, every option you had, and look, I have no problem with that. I like it's just a matter of that first option because, like I said, hypothetically speaking, if drugging the kid up is the first option that everybody takes all the time without exhausting option, you don't know. Like I said, you might be creating a future addict. I mean, everybody's different, but like I said, they might learn early on that whenever shit is going bad in my life, I gotta self medicate. I gotta take pills. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. That's the only way I'm going to feel better. That's where I'm coming from with it.
yeah, and exactly, and that's one of the problems. I just don't want him to become dependent. So, and as he gets older, the doctor said he will be able to slow him down and eventually off the pills. He'll figure it out. But, in the meantime, like I said, I don't want the kid being held back a grade, and then it'll be my fault. And then it will be my fault. I don't want him being held back. I don't want him being put in special classes like I was. But I don't know. And, these pharmaceutical companies right now are all up in arms because, weed's getting legalized everywhere. And they're losing money on pain pills. And then they're freaking out. Oh, my God, our pain pill money is going away.
Yeah, and let's be honest, not to go off on it, but fuck it, we didn't went this far. The whole reason weed for so long was illegal, not because they gave a fuck about what it did to you, because they couldn't find a way to legally tax it. Now that they found a way to do that, lo and behold, it's getting legalized everywhere, slowly but surely.
Which I also find to be bullshit. They found a way to tax another leaf. It's called tobacco. Another one called lettuce. I mean, there's a ton of stuff. Look, it took them a year and a half to figure out how to fucking, tax the shit out of this vape thing, but they did it. Look, there's a reason they don't want to legalize marijuana. The DEA doesn't want marijuana legalized. They make money.
Yeah.
They make money. The pharmaceutical companies don't want it legalized. You know why? Because marijuana can help PTSD. Marijuana can help epilepsy, Parkinson's disease. It's been, there's videos all over YouTube and Facebook of people, stopping the tremors within 5 minutes or less of, smoking a joint or smoking a bowl. Pain medications are, like I said, pharmaceutical companies are already losing their shit because pain medicines are down in states where it's legal. Like 60% down. Because doctors are prescribing marijuana first before they prescribe you some fucking pill. So, of course the fucking government doesn't want it happening. I don't think they're going to have a choice. Colorado is banking money this year.
And they will shit. Like for the longest time, how like Florida was like the destination state for people to retire to? I think Colorado might take that title within the next 10 years.
Well, I think Florida's going to legalize it. I think they actually just passed it to legalize growing there.
Yeah.
So, that's the first step. Once they legalize that, there's going to be dispensaries out there in no time.
Yeah.
I want to go back.
And my whole thing is this: even if you smoke it recreationally, you don't hear about people doing fucked up shit because of weed.
No,
I mean, let's be honest, you never do.
No, do you know how much?
You never fucking do.
And do you know how much marijuana you'd have to smoke in order? Do you realize how much weed you'd have to smoke to overdose on it? Do you know the exact amount?
Well, Snoop's still alive and kicking, so I'm assuming like Snoop levels.
1,500 pounds in 15 minutes. You would have to fall into a volcano of marijuana.
And even then, this weed it comes from the earth. Even then, I would like my chances.
If you smoke 1,500 pounds, you deserve to die. That's all I'm saying. But in 15 minutes, come the fuck on. But look, drug companies are pissed because it's a good option for a lot of people. The elder, I mean, even for old, elderly people are even, turning to it for aches and pains. It's great for arthritis. So, and obviously the glaucoma. So, I mean, there's tons of stuff. No one wants to fucking legalize it, though. No one wants to. No one. I guess what we should do is blame it on the CIA and get back to the movie.
That was a nice little tie-in. Yeah, and I'll say I have a little rant because I don't know if it's affected you yet, but the sugary tax with the sodas and water and all that shit, anything that got sugar in it.
No, I believe that started in NY in New York. We do not have that here. A, B, I drink so little soda it wouldn't matter to me.
Yeah, and I've kind of went, but it's just like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but yeah, I know that's been in New York for like a while now, I believe. I've heard someone complaining about that, so I pretty much know it's been there for a while, but no, it hasn't gotten here at all. But like believe it or not, my family drinks juice and water, dude.
Yeah, but it's not even just a soda though. Anything that has sugar in it.
Yeah,
anything that has sugar in it is getting taxed up. So it's just insane.
So food with sugar in it?
No, basically beverages. Any beverages with sugar in it.
Ugh.
So even if you get like a big ass thing of Sunny D, it's gonna get taxed up on it. Ooh, so in other words, if it's like let's just say it's $2.99, right? By the time it get taxed up, you're gonna be paying like over $1 more. Yeah. So it goes from $2.99 to like maybe close to $4.
Huh. So technically, even like a natural juice, technically is sugared with natural sugars. What are they going to do with that shit?
Exactly. It's just some fucking insane.
It's just fucking another way for them to make money. You people are finding more fucking taxes to make money, and you're bitching about a little fucking weed. Go suck Anthony's left dick.
Thank you. I got to come up with a new catchphrase, but I couldn't have said it better because basically it's called because I had some notes. Trying to be more professional in 2017.
Wow, I don't have.
It's called the sugary beverage tax.
Nice. The only note I have is my Netflix best DVDs ever to fill out in the next couple of weeks. I got that.
So basically, the sugary beverage tax basically says any liquid with sugar or 0-calorie sweetener.
What?
This fucking shit is insane. I'm telling you.
So all you Diet Coke people out there, and there is a shitload of Diet Coke people out there, you're fucked. All the diet sodas are fucked. All those so-called, no sugar drinks are fucked. Basically, if you're not buying water, you're fucked.
Exactly. And think about it. All right, now anybody, look, this got me a little heated. So basically, when you go to the supermarket, right, Box, you're basically getting taxed twice. You're basically, when you pay for all your items, you're getting that sales tax, plus you're paying double tax on like whatever beverages you got that got sugar in it.
Yeah.
So you're getting taxed twice for the same shit.
This is gonna skyrocket powdered drinks and soda streams, so you can make your own soda.
Exactly. I mean, so it's like it's not even about this. Cause like I said, I basically I'm not drinking soda like I used to. So it's not like I'm pissed off about Mountain Dew being like fucking $5 a box.
Yeah, but you want to go. Yeah, but you want to go get a $3.30 Red Bull. You want to pay $5 for a Red Bull?
It's insane to me. It's just like this sugary. But like I said, goes to the point that we were saying earlier with the weed. Anything that they can fucking make money off, I guarantee you, we're going to get to a point in this country where you're going to have to pay. They're going to find a way to charge people to use public bathrooms. It'll be $1 to take a piss,
dude.
$2 if you got to take a shit, and they're going to charge you for the toilet paper too.
There is a bar I know of that I used to go to that literally you had to pay 25 cents to get in the bathroom.
That's a damn shame. I'm sorry.
And and I knew a gas station. I know of a gas station here that you have to. They do the same thing. You have to pay 50 cents to get in. You go to the register. They give you change. You go to the bathroom.
I'm sorry, man. That's a disgrace.
I think so, but I've seen it. It's not. It's few and far between. But you know, I guess all that did was replace the hubcap keychain, and I mean a real hubcap, people, because you know not many cars have hubcaps anymore.
B-Mags in the chat thinks that water tax is coming soon. You really think they would find a way to tax fucking water, spring water?
Dude, I honestly, 90% of the water I drink in my house comes from filters. We got the filter in the fridge, we have the filter on the sink, and I fill up. I have a 2.5 gallon, big jug I fill up in the sink, and then when the kids need water, we just get it out of the fridge. But we don't buy a lot of bottled water, thank God. But I won't lie, I'm on the road, I run out of drinks, I grab 2-3 bottles of water or a giant bottle of water. So now I don't know much about this water tax. What is that? I don't know.
Oh no, I think he was being sarcastic.
You want to make a bet?
I look at it like this, man.
Make a bet?
I mean, I look at it like this. We can't tax our way to prosperity, and we can't burrow our way out of fucking debt.
No.
It just seems like this country as a whole, whenever we get in some shit in terms of our bills, it's like, oh, let's tax everybody.
Yeah.
Let's tax everybody. And who the fuck is this sugary tax? It always, whenever taxes go up on anything, it always affects the middle class first.
Yeah.
Always affects the fucking middle class. The middle class will be the new fucking lower class if we keep at it in the next, I would say, in the next 30 to 40 years.
That's right. Suck a dick, FICA. Oh, Jesus.
Fuck out of here. Fucking, just saying that. Think about it. Just saying that shit out loud sounds dumb as hell. The sugary beverage. Hey, fuck you.
Yeah, that's really fun. I mean, and, like I said, those 100% juices out there all have natural sugar in them. What are they going to do? Well, they did say artificially sweetened and sugar, so, that might clarify that right there.
Yeah, but it's just like, I just don't like, because that's, like I said, that's like a technical way of saying you're fucked regardless. So even if you try to go the quote-unquote healthy route, we're still going to find a way to get that extra couple dollars out of you.
Yeah, you're gonna have to buy those cheap ass 99-cent energy drinks.
Jesus.
Those things will fuck you up, man.
Yeah.
Those cheap energy drinks will fuck up every part of your body.
Yeah.
Your body gets confused.
Saying it best, like it affects the poor people first because those sugary drinks are the cheapest.
I get them
for the longest time,
dude. I get them every now and then. Don't. I'm not fucking around. I'll go get one of those Venom. Those Venoms are $1. And those the NOS energy. I love the taste of those NOS energy drinks. They taste like mandarin orange. Oh, if they came out with that in a drink without the fucking caffeine, I would drink it every day.
What else is there?
That is good shit, man. But yeah, I mean, I get energy drinks every now and then.
Were you a Powerade person? I was hooked on them for a minute.
I like Powerade, Gatorade. I'll even grab a vitamin water every now and then. Those
are actually good too.
Those are really good. The only I don't like that pomegranate one. It has
I love that one.
It's got to me it's got the worst aftertaste. The worst. And those neuro energy drinks, they have a bunch of different ones. They have energy, a bliss, a mood. Those things will fuck you. Those things will jack you up, dude.
Yeah. Only thing about, like, I can't do Red Bull. I mean, they're good in the moment, but you ever have a Red Bull, like one or two of them? I don't know how people drink them like this, but one or two of them, and then like after a certain amount of time, you just crash completely.
Well, that's...
You ever had that happen to you?
Of course. That's the sugar content. That's why I try to get the zero, the Red Bull Zero sugar one, which is still artificially sweetened. Don't get me wrong. I know it is. But the Monsters I like. Monster Zero I like, even though there's a bit of an aftertaste. But, dude, I was hooked on those energy drinks. I was drinking 2 to 3 a day for, I would say, a good year and a half. Started having some heart issues. Didn't know if that's what the cause was, so I stopped the energy drinks. And I just grab one. Like, I'll have maybe 2 a month at the, like, maybe 2 a month now.
Smart.
You know?
Man, did you ever do the 5-hour energy drinks? Remember those?
The what?
Remember 5-hour energy drinks? You ever try those?
Yeah, my brother-in-law is big into the nutraceuticals, all those energy drinks and powders and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. So I got 4 cases of energy shots from him, all different flavors. So my fridge in my garage is full of energy shots. But if I drink those, they're 2 ounces, right? I can use it 4 times.
Wow.
That's how little caffeine I drink, and how caffeine affects my body. I can drink a half ounce, and it will do the job for, it might not do a 5-hour, but it'll pump me up for a good 2, 3, 4 hours, easy. So I can use it 4 times. I just take a small sip, and I'm good. But
good.
I have. Let's see how many were in it. There was 12 in a box. There was 12, so there's 144 in each case. I have 4 different flavors. So I have a lot of energy shots in my fridge.
Yeah, and the thing with this, we all like a little sweetness to, our food, our drinks. But it's like, those 5-hour energy, that literally, like, that was the definition of fucking a bottle of sugar. Like, Jesus.
They were, but now they actually have them with no sugar. I think most of the 5-hour energy, I believe they've gone sugar-free. I'm sure they use artificial again.
I haven't had them in years, but that's a good start for them.
But I mean, we have local energy shot, like Tweaker and all kinds of crazy names like that. Like Night Move and Rage. We have a bunch of the local people around here doing those energy shots. I won't touch them, to be honest with you. The ones I have are called Go All Natural. They're all natural. The vitamin content in these energy shots is off the charts.
Wow.
They're the same company who does it does. They also do hemp oil.
Wow.
Yeah, I got some vapable hemp oil in my a couple jars from him in my cabinet. But it's good stuff, man. And yeah, like B-Megs is saying, most of the drinks I just mentioned, most of them are owned now by Coca-Cola, which should tell you how much sugar is in them. My kids can drink Dr. Pepper. They can drink root beer. They have one Coca-Cola, and they're up all night. All fucking night.
Switch them over to Coke Zero.
It still does. So I don't know what it is about Coke, but regular Coke fucks them up. They can drink Diet Coke. They can drink anything else, but I gave them Coke the Christmas Eve and regretted it.
It was wired all night, huh?
I'm like, yeah, well, they're gonna want to go to sleep, dude. It was 1 a.m, and I'm still sitting there like, oh my god.
So they don't even crash off of Coke? They don't even have that sugar crash?
Now remember, I just told you about my oldest one, who once he's jacked up, lookout world. He's like Roger Rabbit after doing a shot of fucking, when he freaks out. That's what my son is like. He just goes nuts once he gets sugared up. And my little one was right behind him doing everything, and I'm like, oh my God. I'm not lying. I left to go to the liquor store.
Oh, that's phenomenal.
Christmas Eve, I'm like, listen, it's 8:40. I have 20 minutes to get to the liquor store. I'll be back.
Mr. Sandman, bring me a drink.
Some Southern Comfort. Because that's what I got was a bottle of Southern Comfort and a 12-pack of beer. I got a bottle of SoCo and a 12-pack of Coors Light. Anyone in Florida listening to this knows I am a SoCo man.
Same. I mean, Box. The only thing that could have made that story funnier is if on your way to the bar you had an Inner Sandman playing. That would have been that would have made the story complete.
No, I believe on driving to the. I believe. I'm probably. I was listening to Wrestling Soup. So, shout out once again to those boys. Check them out every Thursday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on Mixler. There you go. Quick shout out for them. But yeah, I was listening to them, and I'm like, man, I got to get there. And you got to realize you're in East Texas, so it takes you 20 minutes to get anywhere in East Texas because it's literally when people say East Bumfuck, this is the town they're talking about.
Now, was this like early in the day? Because was this like a?
This was 8:30, 8:45.
Oh, you lucky son of a bitch!
Yeah,
because state stores on my side of the world, they shut down like around like 5, 6 o'clock. So you are a lucky bastard.
Yeah, we have till 9 o'clock here to get liquor. We can get beer till 1 o'clock because they go by Eastern Time, which 2 a.m. Eastern Time is shutdown time. So 1 o'clock. You cannot get liquor here on Sundays at all. Beer only. Beer and wine only. Unless you got a hookup. I knew a place out in East Texas who, if you walked in and said, "Can I get a bottle of this?" she would go to this go next door, get it, ring it up as something else, write it down, and then take it out of inventory the next day. So funny that store closed down 3 weeks ago. She'd been around for years. I've been here 9 years. And they said she was here way before I had even been going there, and it was two little Asian girls, very sexy little Asian girls that owned the store. Oh, they could have been doing anything else out of there, so I don't know. But yeah, they closed down a few weeks ago. I drove by a few weeks ago, and I was like, damn it. But but 1 o'clock in the morning, my kids were still bouncing the fuck around on Christmas Eve, and I was like, what did I do? And I realized I gave them both one can of this. They had the Santa cans. I gave them each one can. And they went to bed finally. I ended up giving both of them melatonin at 1:45. Dude, come on. I still had work to do, and I had to sleep, too.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Like, kiddos, you got to take one for the team tonight.
Melatonin for everyone. Thank you, melatonin.
And honestly, once again, I don't want to seem like we're advocating for drugging the kiddos tonight, but you know what else put you to sleep? And whatever you're going through, sick, sore throat, put you to sleep, Benadryl.
NyQuil. I'm a big believer in NyQuil. But here's what I found with melatonin. Melatonin A is not a drug. It is a root, is what it is. It does come in pill form, so they have powdered it, made it into a pill. But it promotes sleep. It doesn't put you to sleep. There's a difference. Melatonin makes you kind of just drift into a drowsiness, a little drowsy. I can take melatonin, and if I can't go to sleep, I'm cool. It's not like you take an Ambien and you're drooling if something happens to happen, trying to stay awake.
Yeah.
You know, melatonin you can take, and if you stay awake for, you know, like an hour, it's already out of your system. So it's not something that's going to have side effects, which I love about it. And, you know, my doctor said you're not giving him, you're not giving your kid drugs. You're giving him a root. Melatonin is not a drug. It is non-addictive. So, and you know, you can get it at any health food store. So, melatonin's a good thing, man. I use it damn near every night, especially if I'm not drinking. Seriously, if I'm not drinking, melatonin is a great to fucking use. It really is. But yeah, I've tried the that ZQuil is actually very good, and that ZQuil is alcohol free. It comes in alcohol free. I found that out when I was getting my cluster headaches, and I got the ZQuil. I took one, or I took two, and that night I had the worst headaches I've had in a long time. By the way, when you get cluster headaches, every one is the worst one. You'll realize that if you ever hear me talk about them again. And but I realized there was alcohol, and then I went back to the store, and they have some with no alcohol. So, and those actually, I think the no alcohol ones worked better on me. They put me out. So, I've tried all that stuff, and even some of those drinks do the job. I know those are for people who are, you know, basically on ecstasy and coming back from the rave, man.
Yeah.
But they'll work. There's a good Bob Marley relax drink that's out there that's really, really does help you chill. It can really calm you down and get you to sleep. But I don't know. I believe in a lot of that shit, and I don't know, man. Melatonin always helps, but that sugar tax is fucked up, dude.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, man. It's not even just about the soda. It's just the fact that they're finding ways to just overtax you for any fucking thing.
Yep.
Like, Jesus Christ. Like, come on now.
You know whose fault it is, man? It's the CIA, man. Let's go ahead and knock this movie out. Then we can talk all the fucking drug talk we want. But that was good. I'm serious, man. I really enjoy talking just off the cuff stuff like that more than I enjoy talking about a topic that we pick for the night.
Yeah. Switch it up a little bit. Keeps the show fresh and interesting.
I like just talking life and shit, man, because it's really what everyone's experiencing. It's the easiest thing to talk about because everyone experiences life.
Yeah.
If you're talking,
I've broken it down into 3 chapters. When it comes to life.
Oh shit!
You're born. You waste time. You die. The end.
I guess I'm in the waste time phase. Long into it.
That's all we all doing, man.
Long into
waste time. You die.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much.
Pretty much. You know, everyone tries to put their mark out there. Obviously, there's certain people who have done better than others. You know, you got guys like The Rock. No one's ever going to fucking forget The Rock. But, I don't know, man. Let's knock this movie out. We were, and I paused the movie where we were for 2 reasons. One, I wanted to play the part. 2, I didn't want to lose the place where we were. So here we go. We were at the part where they were actually in Jason Bateman's office, who played Trevor, who was the kid who we discussed earlier, threw out Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, into the gym naked. And I wanted to play that part where just total dick move he does here. Let me see if I'm close to it. I'm close, but let me see how close.
No, I don't think so.
You're both going. Here it is. Here's your transaction number.
Here, hold on.
You're both going because you want to know what? They're going to vote on homecoming king and queen again. Maybe you and Maggie can make it.
Yeah, a few more seconds, and we'll get to that. Here we go.
Men,
a few years ago.
Oh, by the way, we were talking about the part where he was being a total douche and completely turns the tables on The Rock, and you will hear that now.
I found the Lord Almighty, and ever since then, my life has been completely different, okay? He's got a plan for each and every one of us, and in his infinite wisdom, he makes no mistakes.
You're right about that.
I think the Lord put you here because he wants me to get something off my chest. He wants me to clear my conscience, and he wants me to ask for forgiveness. Robert, what I did to you at that rally in senior year was a cowardly act. Something that I've regretted every single day. Yeah? I mean, bullying is a national crisis. It can leave people with a lifetime of pain. So, I just want to say how truly sorry I am for what happened, you know? Or for what I did. It didn't just happen, I did it, and I wish to God that I had not done it. So I'm hoping that you can find it in your heart to forgive me.
I wasn't expecting this at all.
I know it.
Just so happy. I don't know what to say.
How about you say, the Oscar goes to Trevor Olson.
What do you mean?
Weird dick! You stupid ass! Good God, you're dumb. Dumber than ever, I guess. And you too, Calvin. Look at that stupid...
All right, I'm going to pause it for just a second. Obviously, we were talking that there are some... a few serious moments in this comedy. This is one of them. Obviously, the bully being the bully, still the bully. Some bullies never fucking change. They never grow up. Obviously, that's the case with this guy in this movie. But, you know, and this is the part that we were talking about earlier where Kevin Hart is, you know, and we'll get to it in just a second, where Kevin Hart's telling him, you know, do what you did to the guys in the butt. Kick his ass. And he looks in the window and sees the reflection of him, and he doesn't see the Rock we see. He sees the fat kid, Robert Weird Dick. So, I'll get back to it real quick now. But anyway.
Look on those two faces. The Lord taught me to care. Unbelievable. I'm a Scientologist, okay? That's A.
Holy fuck. A.
Been Thetan free since 2003. Clear as shit. And I'm sorry for what I did. Let me tell you what I'm sorry about. I'm sorry I didn't toss your naked ass out there 3 more times. It was the best senior prank ever. I still get emails about it.
You know what? You're gonna regret you ever opened your mouth. You hear me, Trevor?
Oh, yeah? How come, Calvin?
Oh, because he's about to whoop your ass. That's why.
Who is?
Bob, get up and whoop his ass.
Oh, here she comes. Let me tell you something. Weird Dick can't chug a bunch of steroids and elk urine and miraculously be able to kick my ass all of a sudden, okay? It ain't gonna happen. Because here's why. Once a fat kid, always a fat kid. Huh? Prove me wrong.
Bob, come on. Do what you did in the bar.
Obviously, right here, he's looking at himself, and all he sees is a fat little kid, scared.
Come on, hit me, and I'll sue your ass and take your fanny pack away.
What's the matter with you?
I just want to go.
She wants to go.
Go ahead.
Kept
There
calling
you go.
him she. Really tough. It was kind of the tough part in the movie. Honestly, you're not used to seeing The Rock in scenes like this, to be honest.
Versatility.
It is, and he, you know, he made you feel bad for him, which, holy shit, that's what the scene's supposed to convey. You're supposed to feel sorry for him in this scene. But you know, this was a really good scene. But like I said, it showed the bully being the bully, never fucking growing up, being the dickhead he always is, always was, and probably will end up growing up alone, and no one will give a shit about him. But it's just one of the. It's really not the kind of scene you would expect The Rock to be in. This is also the scene where they threaten to, after all this happens, they threaten to arrest his wife for conspiracy to commit treason, and he does turn in The Rock here, and The Rock gets questioned by his, what we now know is his boss. There's a scene where there's another good scene where Kevin Hart finally realizes that he is The Rock's only friend, goes back, breaks him out of there, and The Rock waves. His finger is broken, and The Rock waves, and his finger's flapping around. Then he fixes it. It's a really funny scene, though, man.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Yeah, this whole movie goes really good with the funny scenes. The trailers were most of the really funny scenes, but there was a lot more funny scenes in this movie.
Yeah,
So,
I honestly, like I said, it's a comedy, but surprisingly for a comedy with The Rock and Kevin Hart, you wouldn't necessarily think it would have a lot of depth to it in terms of content, but man, it's a couple of scenes in this movie that really kind of get like the scene we just played.
there was a couple scenes I was expecting Damon Wayans to just say message.
It's Keenan
Ivory. Keenan Ivory, that's right. One of the fucking Wayans. God damn it.
Yeah, I'm fucking with you.
Damn it, they all have the same last name. I can't keep them fucking straight. Marlon, Keenan, fucking Damon. There's more. I know I'm missing like 3 of them.
Well, we named the famous ones.
Yeah, we named the 3. And David Allen Greer, which I call the Wayan brother from another mother.
That's probably true. He got to be a cousin or something.
I don't know if he's related, but he's always tied in with those guys somewhere. Definitely, which I don't mind. I actually like David Allen Greer, and you want to see a good movie with David Allen Greer, watch Boomerang.
Yes,
him, Eddie Murphy.
I love that fucking movie.
I do too, man. Him, Eddie Murphy, and Martin Lawrence, and you get to see Robin Givens' sexy body in that movie.
Yes,
she is gorgeous in that fucking movie, man. Absolutely.
But man, Eddie Murphy taught me some life lessons in there. I got him and fucking Tony Atlas got to be best friends after that flick. If you want to know what kind of chick you dealing with, look at the feed. That'll tell you all you need to know.
Oh yeah, Tony.
That's actually a true statement.
Probably. That's probably Tony Atlas's favorite scene. Now there's another scene where we also brought up, actually Anthony Yu brought up his nickname, the Golden Jet.
Yes.
And they actually do end up stealing a golden jet.
Yes.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, that's just one of those scenes where you just kind of have to turn your brain off. But it was still funny.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? This whole movie is one of those. I just want to kill. Actually, it's about a 2-hour movie. I just want to kill a couple hours, shut my brain off, and watch a movie.
Exactly.
This is a perfect one to do. And you know, while they're stealing the plane, The Rock has Kevin Hart distracting someone. And as he's doing it, The Rock is behind him swinging a rope like a dick.
Yes. Oh, God.
It's just hilarious. But, and then that snake came out of the cooler, which I hate snakes. Oh, I'm watching.
You're from Texas and you hate snakes?
Dude, the only good snake to me is a dead one. It's also why when I'm walking around in East Texas, I have a .45 revolver on me with snake shots in it.
Wow. Are rattlesnakes as big in Texas as they say?
Yes.
And I'm not even just saying because of the Steve Austin tying in, but are they still like a big thing?
Yep. Yeah. Yep. They during the summer they're all you have to watch out, listen, and watch where you're stepping, especially out in the country because East Texas is all country. So, yeah, I literally walk around there with snake shots in a revolver.
Wow.
I got a 38 and a 45 out there, both revolvers with snake shots. Yep. I do not like snakes. At all. At all. After that, they fly to Boston to do this meet because obviously they're trying to find the Black Badger. And now the reason we've completely forgot to, we skipped over this. The reason they have Kevin Hart is because he is an accountant and his specialties are forensic accounting.
Yeah.
And The Rock needs him to get into some things, and he has some clearances. Obviously, that's another reason they were in the office of Jason Bateman, the bully, because they needed his clearance to do it.
Yeah.
So that's the reason The Rock befriended and needed Kevin Hart's character in this movie. There's another little meaningful scene where The Rock fakes that the plane's about to crash, and Kevin Hart admits he wants children and loves his life, blah, blah, blah. That all ties into the later part of the movie. But, from there they do go to meet, and this is where you're not 100% sure if The Rock really isn't the Black Badger in this movie. He, gives a little line to Kevin Hart that he said to his partner before he died, the old "see you on the other side" line. And then The Rock walks away with a sort of mean scowl on his face. But as they finally do go down, they do meet. They find out that The Rock's partner, who is supposed to be dead, is the Black Badger. And, this is basically a lot of action scenes after that. The Rock shoots Kevin Hart, but shoots him in a spot where it doesn't do any damage, really. Basically gets him, just nicks his neck. Brings it up to a spot where Kevin Hart gets to pay him back because he's not sure what's going on or who to trust, but he ends up shooting The Rock in the ass.
Yeah.
Yep. Like I said, there's a lot of action after that, during this, and I'm not going to go through every action scene. Obviously, I'm sure you can figure out how this movie turns out, like most spy movies do. Turns out good in the end. They end up going to the reunion for school. The Rock ends up being the 2016/1996 homecoming king.
Yes.
And
we're building to it, folks.
Yep.
We're building.
Yep. And he also gets to basically ends up standing on stage and facing his fears. And he gets naked again.
Yeah, because it's a little plot point, but at one point in the movie, Kevin Hart and The Rock have like one of those deep coming to Jesus type conversations, and Rock opens up to him and says, "I can't get naked." And then Kevin Hart goes, "What do you do during sex?" Turn that light. He basically turned the lights off because that shit affected him. Because we can sit here and laugh, and it was a funny scene, but let's be honest. If what happened to The Rock happened to any one of us, we would have some issues a lot later in life.
Yeah.
So that was The Rock's big hang up. He couldn't see himself. He couldn't see himself naked at any point ever.
Yeah, exactly, man. That was hilarious. But the movie ends. That happens. Kevin, and obviously the end of the movie, Kevin Hart. One of the things he was, obviously wanting never to talk to his wife about was children. And by the end of the movie, his wife is pregnant. Everything's good, and him and The Rock just basically take off. They never really say if he joined the CIA, but the CIA did say if he needs a job, he's good.
I think they left it open-ended because we're going to get a sequel.
I hope so. Now, let me ask you a question. You've You end up meeting up with a dude you haven't seen since high school, and he asks you to do something like this. Are you in or are you out?
Honestly, it would have to depend on how close I was to the dude.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm down.
If I honestly, even like I said, if we were like tight in high school, we just kind of like went our separate ways, and I would honestly probably go for it.
I don't know, man. I would do shit like this. I'm the kind of I'd be like, fuck yeah, I'm in. All right, you got to shoot people. I'm more in, bro. All right.
I mean, but so you wouldn't have to have like a pre-existing relationship with the person, though. You would just say, "Fuck it, I'm in."
I don't know, man. Dude, should I say this? Let me put it this way: you ever had that conversation with your friends where you're sitting there, like, dude, you and a bunch of guys, like, all right, man, you gotta bury a body. What friend do you call? I'd say most of my friends would say I'm that guy.
Wow.
You know what I mean? I'm the guy that they would call. So, I've said before, yes, I'm a salesman, but salesmen are basically fixers. We fix problems, is what we do.
I want to quote Kevin Nash. He basically, in one of his many shoot interviews, he basically said, "A friend to help you move, a good friend to help you move a body. Scott Hall's a good friend." And then he just laughed, and I'm like, yeah. Everybody needs that type of friend. Like, when you could call them, and you could call them with the most reckless shit you could think of, and they'd be like, dude, I'm in. I'm there. What you need? Everybody needs that one friend.
Bro, I'm not going to get into anything, but I've had some pretty odd requests from friends, and I've gotten some friends out of some pretty fucked up situations, but yeah, dude. Yeah, there you go. Winston Wolfe. He was a fixer in Pulp Fiction. Goddamn right.
So basically, Box, and your little clique, you were the Winston Wolfe.
I guess in a way, whenever things went bad, I don't freak under pressure. Believe it or not, some of my customers don't like that. The fact that I don't freak out when they have a problem. I remain calm. I don't try to blame. I fix.
Yeah.
I fix. It's what you do. You know what? You blame people after the whole problem is fixed. I had a boss who would literally sit there, and the whole time we had a problem, all he was doing was trying to figure out who to blame. Meanwhile, the problem was still dangling there. 2 weeks down the road, we'd still have the problem, and the customer still didn't have the product, and he's still looking for someone to fucking blame through paperwork.
The product. No, but see, let's be honest, man. Like, whether it's, professional, personal, whatever the situation, you need somebody. You need at least one person to keep a cool head. If everybody's freaking out, shit not gonna get accomplished. You need one person to be that voice of reason, even in the most fucked up situation you had. Like, for example, tied into wrestling. Mm-hmm. For example, Owen Hart passed away. Tragic situation. Everybody was distraught. I'm sure was crying, breaking down, because nothing like that had ever happened on that level.
Right.
And I'm sure, like, Vince was probably, not to say that he wasn't distraught in his own way, but he probably, as the owner, he had to be the voice of reason. Uh-huh. He had to be the one. If you look at it like this: if you're an employee and some bad shit happens at your job, and you look to your boss for leadership, and he's in the corner breaking down, you need somebody to keep a cool head. Well, no matter how bad the situation get, you need somebody to take control of the situation.
Oh, that's the old cliches, so goes the captain, so goes the ship. If your captain is freaking the fuck out, everyone else is going to freak out, man. And, I've managed warehouses and shit, and when you got a problem, you just fucking fix it. You don't... I did always find who to blame, but just fix it.
Yeah.
Go to the person, say, look, you did this, this, and this. Don't do it again, and that's it. Next time I have to write you up. And that's it. That's what I used to do. That was when I ran a wire and cable warehouse. But I don't know, man. Freaking out is the worst thing you can do in any situation. My fiance is the biggest freak out artist. And she makes my kids freak out.
Oh.
So a lot of times, you know, I'll just be like, you go in the other room, I'll take care of it. I've always been the, look, don't get me wrong, I can lose my shit like anybody else out there. I can lose my shit, lose my cool, but I try to chill. I try to remain calm, fix the problem. So, yeah, a lot of my friends have said if anything ever went bad, I'd be the one to call.
Yeah, I mean, look, after the situation is solved and resolved, whatever, there's plenty of time to blame and heads to roll and all that, but when you in the heat of the moment, shit. The thing, fuck it, I'm going to equate it to one of my favorite movies, Goodfellas.
Uh-oh.
Okay, I love fucking Goodfellas. And you know why I love the movie? Because think about it, out of everybody involved in the movie, the two most level-headed people, and which is why people always look to them to do shit and take care of shit, were fucking Paulie and Henry Hill. Henry Hill, he was like you could tell, he was like the wallflower. He didn't necessarily get involved in shit. I mean, he had his shit on the side, but he didn't get involved in the heavy shit. He was basically the observer. That's why throughout the movie, you see everything through his eyes. He was just the person that observed. That's why he was able to get into shit, because they knew, like, look, Hendry, we can trust Hendry with anything, because he's not going to talk. He's not going to run his mouth. He's basically going to be the guy that comes to the party, but just kind of like chills to the side.
Yeah, damn it, Hendry, I'm trying to bang this broad.
Think about it. He observes everything. He was an observer.
He did. And he was, you know, Jimmy and everybody did go to him to fix a few things. So he was the same kind of guy. But,
yeah.
I don't know, man. I'd be mixed up. Pootie Tang was your favorite movie. God damn, was that racist? I'm not sure.
I have good taste in movies. P-Bags. I like to think my taste is better than that. Even though that is an underrated flick.
Pootie Tang.
Hey, fuck yeah, shit. Chris Rock made a lot of money off fucking Pootie Tang, so people need to stop giving him shit off of that.
Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. Now, there was, before we completely, you know, then of course I'll do the trivia, because we always do the trivia, not the trivia, but the did you know facts. Anyway, let's, there's one outtake that Kevin Hart does where he's talking about, you know, because, you know, Robert Weird Dick now goes by Bob Stone, and he's like, I made the name up, and he's like, so you think Mr. T made up his name? And he brings up a little reference, and I'll go ahead and play it right now. I think this is it right here.
Right? I'm gonna hit.
Hold on. Right.
Are you not a super tool? You're not even Robbie Weirdick. You're Bob Stone.
I made that name up.
So what?
It's not real.
What does that mean? What do you think Mr. T and Sting and The Rock, you think those guys are real? That's a bunch of dumbass nicknames by a bunch of dumbass people.
The Rock. Mr. T, Sting, The Rock? Bunch of dumbass nicknames by a bunch of dumbass people. Here we go. Actually, all right, let's get into some of the did you knows. Dwayne Johnson is 1 foot 1 inch taller than Kevin Hart and weighs over 100 pounds more. So that's why he looks so small. He is. And here we go. Dwayne Johnson wears a fanny pack throughout the movie, and the film makes multiple comedic reference to it. This is a reference to a popular meme which shows Johnson wearing a fanny pack in the 90s. We've all seen the picture of The Rock in the black shirt, the jeans, the gold chain, and the fanny pack.
And the poofy hair that I'm glad he got rid of.
Yep. Which they did flashback to in the younger version of The Rock.
Yeah.
Yep. When Kevin Hart and The Rock first meet in the bar, Hart makes a reference to The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, looking like Hercules, who he did play in 2014. So let's see here. What are the good, funny ones are here? Dwayne Johnson gives 3 nods to Bruce Lee in this movie. I didn't notice this. I noticed the 1-inch punch at the end, but I didn't notice the yellow and black sneakers and the pose. But I did tell my fiance he just did the 1-inch punch at the end of the movie when he
when he took the guy's throat out, literally.
After he takes out the guy's throat from Roadhouse, he puts him up against the rail and does the 1-inch punch to knock him over. I did notice that Bruce Lee reference. So yeah, of course if you guys want to check out our Bruce Lee opinions, go ahead and check that out. You can find that on YouTube. Let's see, and on iTunes, by the way. In one scene, Dwayne Johnson's character makes a reference to both the movie Pitch Black and its lead character, Vin Diesel. I do remember that. He actually mentions Vin Diesel in the movie. Let's see. Dwayne Johnson's character. Oh, even Bob Stone was a little shot at The Rock. It says Dwayne Johnson's character is named Bob Stone. Funny, Johnson's pro wrestling stage name was The Rock. So obviously that was a little tie-in there. The big bro bully asks Kevin Hart, sarcastically, "What are you, a comedian now?" Yeah, he is a comedian, actually.
I don't know why, but considering like they're probably roughly the same height, how funny would it be if one of these days we see Kevin Hart reenact the famous fucking Goodfellas reference, "Funny how?" Like, I'm here to amuse you. That would actually be funny as hell.
Wow. And they kind of, they stretched this one. They sort of, NYPD stretched this one. But Megan Park, who's the waitress at the bar all over The Rock, she was also in a movie called The Secret Life of an American Teenager in 2008, where she played a Catholic girl, which also starred Molly Ringwald. Molly Ringwald was in the movie 16 Candles, which was showing, and Bob Stone was obsessed with. So they sort of stretched that one, but it works. They bacon gamed that one.
Yes.
And,
now, just real quick, because I mean, this was pretty what did you think of the uncredited appearance of Melissa McCarthy, who's also been everywhere?
Yeah, she was at the end. The Rock ends up kissing her at the end. So, yeah, my fiance is actually a big fan of her, so she was like, "Oh my God, it's her." And I'm like, yeah, I don't care. Meanwhile, she's lost a ton of weight and looks amazing right now, so, last one I got, Kevin Hart made a reference to Barbershop, the movie starring Ice Cube. Kevin Hart did obviously work with Ice Cube in Ride Along and Ride Along 2. So, but he did. I did catch that one. I'm like, he brought up Barbershop. Holy shit.
Yes. And if you folks are looking for what episode that was, the Bruce Lee episode, actually it was a dual Bruce Lee Muhammad Ali episode. That was episode 5.
Ah, yes. And it is on iTunes. It is on YouTube. So yeah, check out those. But I don't know. I mean, I think we've pretty much given our opinions on the movie. Like I said, I enjoyed it. I thought it was definitely one of those movies. If you're just looking to kill an hour and a half, not really, and not get deep into a movie, this is one to watch. Just enjoy it for what it is. It's a comedy action movie with a couple of serious messages.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And I'm normally down on I would be down on a movie like this getting a sequel, but I'm actually hoping they do a sequel because I actually think there's some more ground to cover, especially if they go the route of Kevin Hart working in the CIA.
I think they could do one more of these.
Yeah, it don't need to be like a series.
No,
like right along. But I think they can squeeze one more movie out of this.
Yeah, they could definitely get one more out of it. and Kevin Hart could do the same thing where The Rock's trying to get him to join the CIA this time. Really, it definitely could be good. And the chemistry these two have is really good. It's not, you mentioned Trading Places. It's not the Dan Aykroyd, Eddie Murphy chemistry, but it's still damn good.
Oh yeah. Nothing compares to that, but I'm just talking about in terms of the plot. For some reason, like just watching how they did, like they basically played against type. I just for some reason, Trading Places just kind of popped in my head.
Oh no, I get where you can see the reference, but I mean they're also. I mean you could also take this reference and go Planes, Trains, and Automobiles with Candy and Steve Martin, even though they're both. I know, please don't make this a race thing. But I mean, they're good. Look, it's a buddy movie. It's a spy buddy movie, and there's a ton of these buddy movies out there you could compare this to. But it's a damn good one, man. I really enjoy it. I really did like it.
Yeah, and if you want to go with the comparison, like my last comparison would be if you want to just based off of size disparity alone, you could compare him to a modern day David Spade and Chris Farley. Yeah, I mean Farley did make Spade look like a fucking string bean.
Yeah, I mean this is fucking this is David and Goliath, 2016-17. So I don't fucking know, man. I don't know. I think we're good, man.
Yeah.
I think we've gone through. I mean, unless you have anything else. Let me see if there's anything else here. We mentioned the box office. This movie did get a few accolades. It did get Critics' Choice Awards, some Golden Trailer Awards, People's Choice Awards, and some Teen Choice Awards. This movie did get some. So, well, they were nominated for a lot of them. But this movie did all right. We mentioned the box office. The movie did do very good. We obviously, mentioned there was a few Roadhouse references in this movie. And he does end up taking out the guy's throat at the end, Roadhouse style, before he does the Bruce Lee one-inch punch. I never noticed the sneakers, man. I never noticed the sneakers. Usually I catch Bruce Lee references like that, but I didn't.
Yeah, that makes you a true fan. If you could look at the man's sneaks and go, yeah, that's Bruce Lee right there.
Yeah, I didn't catch that, but I don't know, man. I guess we can, fuck it. Go ahead and, I guess we can take the fuck off, man. Let me see here. Got any good 96 music I can play here? No. No. Guns N' Roses is not 1986. 96. Jesus Christ. I'm too tired to know what fucking year it is. All right, you know what? One quick story before we get out of here. I was freaked the fuck out the other night after we did the wrestling show Wednesday night. Wednesday night, we get done. We got out of here relatively early. I went out, watched a little TV, and then I went to bed. While I'm in bed, I'm sitting there, and something wakes me up. My dog starts growling like crazy. My dog doesn't usually growl. My dog is fucking growling. So he's growling. I wake up. I tell him to calm down. Literally about 30 seconds later, our door. Now, our door is closed, right?
Right.
Our door opens. And I mean, literally, like, when my door in my bedroom opens, you have to push it because it rubs the carpet a little bit. Because the carpet's still a little bit new.
Right.
And because we got new carpet a couple months ago, you have to literally push it. It still rubs the carpet. I hear my door open. I look up. I'm waiting for one of my kids to walk in, right?
Right.
They never do. So I get nervous, and I get up, and I go check on my kids. Both my kids are sleeping soundly. My dog is on the bed. My fiance is in the bed. What the fuck opened my door the other night, dude?
Jesus Christ. Was it like a strong wind? I don't even know what to say.
You have to turn the handle to open my door. The only thing I can think is my oldest one opened the door, tried to be quiet, opened it too loud, realized he woke us up, coming in trying to get his 3DS. And I think he ran back to his room and faked being asleep.
Yeah,
but
I would hope that was it.
Otherwise, I don't know what in living hell opened my door the other night and scared the hell out. I sat there literally staring at that door with a gun under my pillow for an hour and a half.
Wow, that's...
When I say I got 2 hours of sleep on Wednesday night, I'm probably exaggerating. I probably got an hour, maybe 30 minutes.
Leave it to weebs to sum it up beautifully. Doors open equal good weed.
Dude, I get it, but my fiance woke up too and expected to see one of our kids at the door, and one of our kids was not at the door. So both of us were freaked out. We both sat there staring at the door for hours.
Yeah, this is weird. Like, remember, like, I don't even know if it's still come on. Forgot what channel. Wasn't it like a ghost show where, like, people, like, told ghost stories, or where they was haunted, or they saw a ghost or something? Because I vaguely remember Piper doing one a couple years ago, where I think he saw a ghost of Adrian Adonis or something like that.
Probably. And, you know, Weebs says bullets can't kill ghosts. I do know that, Weebs. But you'll never feel safer than when you got cold steel in your hand, my friend.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I mean, look, I've had some very weird experiences in my time before. I know ghosts can't hurt you, you know. Like I've told some of these stories before of you know, me and my dad at you know, being at a farm in North Carolina, and we heard a voice tell us to get out of a place we know was empty. My house in North Carolina, we'd hear music coming from walls where there was no radio near it. I mean, I've had some really weird shit happen to me, but that freaked me the fuck out, dude. That freaked me the fuck out.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, I'm hoping.
I mean, you always hear about that, though. Like, you know, people had these, like, experiences and stuff like that, but honestly, I don't even know how I'll react to something like that.
I don't know. I mean, listen, I'll be in a dead sleep some nights, and I'll wake up, and I'll swear on my life I just heard my Aunt Gail. My Aunt Gail died when I was 14 years old of a drug overdose. I swear I hear her voice calling my name.
Wow.
You know, I mean, there's things that happen, and you know, it's her voice every time. It's not a different. It's her voice.
Yeah. I mean, I've had some weird, like, vivid ass dreams, like when you wake up, and it just felt like so freaking weird.
Well,
it felt real. I'm sorry, slurring my words. They felt real, and it's just like, man. Dude. And it take you a while to get yourself together. Like,
oh yeah,
that shit just have. I've had a lot of those.
Dude, I've literally, remember before I said I hate and I'm scared of snakes. And I am not exaggerating. I have woken myself standing. I'm standing in looking for a snake in my bed. I have told my fiance there's a snake in the bed, and she's taken every sheet off the bed, proved to me there's not. But I've had dreams where I wake up standing up and thinking there's a snake in the bed. It's rare. It's a rare one that I have like that, but I've had that shit happen, man.
Yeah.
All the time. But I've also had some very, you know, I'm not even getting into. I've had some. That house in North Carolina I had was definitely weird. Weird. It was built from prison bricks from the 1800s, church columns from the 1800s, and it had some shit in it, man. There were faces in the kitchen, in the bricks, literally painted faces. There were. Me and we would literally, you know how when someone's walking up a older set of stairs, you can hear the stairs kind of like the pressure.
Yeah.
We would hear pressure on the stairs. So someone walking up, you would look at the stairs, no one walking up the stairs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen some crazy shit and, you know, been involved in some crazy shit, but, you know, and by the way, a lot of that stuff I saw in North Carolina was way before alcohol and weed.
Yeah.
So,
Same, I'll tell you a situation where I was, like, very sober. You know what a penitentiary is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So every year around Halloween in Philly, it's like, and I only did it one time for a reason. My buddies taught me into doing, like, this, it was like for around Halloween time. Every year, the penitentiary, it's like this old abandoned penitentiary gets turned into like a Halloween type of deal.
That's a famous penitentiary.
Yeah.
Known for being haunted by the
inmates that went there.
The inmates that were there. I can't think of the name, but I know the exact one you're talking about.
Yeah, I went through that one time, and it's just like, you know how like when you ever walk into a place and you just automatically get like the chills and you just get like an eerie feeling like somebody doesn't want you here.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just, I had one, I don't know why, and like I said, I don't scare easily, but it's just like walking through that whole tour and then you got people like jumping out I almost knocked out, and they tell you very specifically, don't touch any of the actors, that type of deal.
Mm-hmm.
I almost hauled off, because they would literally come out of nowhere. I almost hauled off and knocked the shit out of one of them. Because it's like, I was in that mode of like, I want to get the fuck out of here. Just get me the fuck out of here.
Dude, your body can feel weird shit. Your body, you can feel that fight or flight coming up in you. I mean, like erupting in your body. Like, you know, there's either one thing you're going to do and you're not sure which. But dude, look, it's scary shit. You know, Weebs brings up in the chat room that hearing my aunt's voice could be repetitive audio hallucination. It definitely could be. And, you know, I'll tell you the truth. I am not scared when I hear her voice, because I know in my heart that is one person that would never try to hurt me. If she is trying to communicate with me, and I know I might sound like a crazy person here, but I don't give a fuck. You believe what you believe. I do believe there are some spirits out there that are here to watch us and protect us. And if I sound like a crazy person, hey, whatever. But I know she could never hurt me or do harm to me. So that doesn't scare me. And by the way, when I did that, I was in Raleigh, North Carolina, Weebs. Or Bod, you're asking. I was in Raleigh. Spent 10 years.
Before anybody asks, it's getting kind of late, but it was the penitentiary I was referring to was the Eastern State Penitentiary.
Ah, that's it.
Like literally a minute after I started talking about the penitentiary, I'm like, "Fuck, you're from Philly." I meant to say Eastern State Penitentiary.
Yeah. That is very known for the and it's also known for paranormal activity.
Yeah, and it's like, I know it sounds weird to say like, oh, it's a fucking tour, but it's like I can't explain it. But when I walked in, from the moment I walked into that building, I just got like a bad vibe. Like, nothing good could come out of going through this building.
Well, I mean, if I remember correctly, the stories are that basically they were tortured in that facility, and it was shut down due to the inhumane practices.
Yeah.
So I do remember that, you know, that some stories about that place, and I believe I've seen a documentary about it that a couple of kids made. I believe, not like students, like college students. I mean, I think I've actually watched a documentary on that place. If there was one made, I think I did. But it's been in a few TV shows. I do remember they brought that into Criminal Minds once.
Yeah.
That whole thing. So, all right, yeah, and B-Megs brings up, sometimes you'll get really weird vibes from people, and it's super weird. Man, it's really, really amazing what sometimes when your body feels and your mind feels wrongness when there's complete normal things going on around you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
it's like your body just knows when shit just don't feel right. Like, your heart races a little bit. Like, you just feel like you just get like a different aura. Like,
yeah,
I don't know, like I said, like, you don't know why, but sometimes when you get around certain people just give you douche chills. It's like, people say, why you don't like me? You don't need a reason. Something your body, like, you're just getting like a bad vibe from somebody.
It is. And, some are stronger than others, but I mean, it's kind of like just, sometimes you get a feeling someone's staring at you. Sometimes you get a feeling, and usually you're right. Sometimes you just get a bad feeling being in a place. And I'll tell you the truth, man. If I get a bad enough feeling just walking in somewhere, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
I'm leaving. I am fucking leaving. So that's, I don't know, man. Just weird shit, but man, I forgot how we even got on ghosts and shit, but I just had a story to tell, didn't I? That's how I got on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, man,
it was a good story. Good story.
Scared the shit out of me, man. So, but it didn't happen last night, and hopefully it won't happen tonight. Because if it does, I gotta move. And I don't want to move. So, on that note, I say we get the fuck out of here. What do you say, Ant?
Definitely.
All right. As usual, catch us every Friday. Well, most Fridays. We'll probably be doing every Friday now. 11:30 p.m. Eastern, we're here. Catch us right here on Mixlr.com/THT podcast. You can also find us on iTunes, THT Movie Review. Search that for everything. THT Movie Review on YouTube, Stitcher. I said iTunes. I said YouTube. Everything like that. Anywhere you find good podcasts, we're there. Don't ever forget, you can always check out me and Shaheen Wednesday nights right here. Same thing, Mixer.com/THT podcast. And you can also find us on iTunes, YouTube, blah, 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 blah. Anything else, man?
You pretty much covered it. See you
right.
folks next week.
There you go. On that note, see y'all next week. Later.
I'm grown to the maxim.